Hey guys, it's Steve at Lakeside Forge. Today I'm going to be talking about some beginning leatherworking for anybody that needs to get started, or just for making sheaths or anything, just simple leatherworking projects for around the house and friends or whatever. So let's go ahead and get started with all the stuff you might need to get started. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to Tandy Leather Factory. If you're lucky enough to have one of these in your area, go there and buy your leather. We've had one in my area for a long time in Atlanta, and I've never really gone, and I went there first time this summer. And anytime I get some money, I go there and I spend it. And I'm a poor man because of Tandy. So, Tandy Leather Factory. Check them out. So, obviously, one of the first things you need is leather. This here's about a 2 to 3 ounce leather from Tandy Leather Factory. This is a cow side, just one whole side that I've bought and I've used over the summer in making things. Next, in importance-wise, would be this chisel here for chiseling for chiseling the holes into your leather so you can stitch it. And this is a groover. It's an optional tool, but it really makes your leather look nice. So essentially what you do is you set it to how far over you want, and you press down, and it makes a nice groove in your leather for your chisel to come down and hit. Next would be, these are just some stamps for decoration. Different types of stamps. Little round one there, and just all kinds of different stamps for making neat patterns in your leather, giving it depth and things. This is the different patterns the stamps make. You can see right there it was grooved, and I slotted it, but just different stuff you can do with the stamps, just kind of messing around with it. This is a swivel knife for cutting out shapes and patterns in the leather. Not cutting completely out, just cutting grooves in the leather, like little patterns and things, little leaves and stuff, and you kind of go back and emboss it and bring it out with your stamps. If you're going to be doing any stamping, you definitely need a rawhide mallet. This one here I got from the hardware store. A rawhide mallet or a dead drop hammer, one of those plastic, I'm not sure what they are, resin hammers. For dye, you're going to want an oil dye or an alcohol dye. I like oil dye. It looks nicer and it doesn't dry out the leather as much. Got this from Tandy. For fastening in spots like on knife sheaths where you're worried about the stitching getting cut, you're going to want to use rivets. So these are leather rivets. You have a big end and a small end, just like steel rivets or regular blacksmithing rivets. You have a little rivet setter here, and you put a hole through the leather, and you just smash them together. And this is my leather cutting knife. I mean, it's kind of big, but any sharp knife will do. Sharper the better. Just run that along there to cut your leather. It's about the best you can get. Sharp knife, box cutting knife, whatever. This is a square straight edge for cutting long straight bits on my leather. And that's about it. So let's do some basic stitching and punching. Alrighty, so what I've done is I've cut off a piece of leather from my chunk here. I'm going to get my groover first, and just going to run that along the edge to make a nice groove in my piece. As you can see, it followed the contours in the leather. So even where it wasn't consistent right around here and kind of torn up from the edge of the cow, it still made a groove. So run that over a couple times depending on how deep you want it to be. Then you get your stamper, or your punch, and your rawhide mallet. Whack it a couple times, pull it out, stick the stamp in the last hole that you made, go down, align it with your groove, do it again. There you go. Do it again. Let's see if I can do this left-handed so you can see a little better. That's a bad stamp. I'm not a lefty. So you're just going to set that prong in that last groove there. And there you go. There's a little strip of leather for stitching. And you do that on both your pieces, and you just stitch it together with some wax string and 2 needles with a saddle stitch. Let's go do that. Alrighty, so what I have is some waxed nylon thread. I'm going to be using black, but this is just my spool here of tan thread. And I'm going to be using the Tandy Leather Factory needles. You don't necessarily need these, but don't use your wife's or daughter's / girlfriend's nice sewing needles. They'll get ticked off. You really don't need that sharp of a point. Just need a blunt point needle. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to get our needle. Sorry about that. We're going to slide it through with our thread. And you're going to see this is 2 pieces of string, 1 piece of string with 2 needles. Then you're going to go through the holes. This is really difficult to do when you don't have a way of clamping it. It's hard to videotape it. I'm going to push them through towards each other in the leather. So you see both of them going through and coming out. I'm going to push them all the way through. Remembering which needle is which. I'm going to pull them out the other ends. You're going to tighten down. And there you go. And you just keep on doing that down and down until you get to the end of your leather. So that's basically leather working for beginner. Easy stuff to do. Hurts your hands after a while, so you got to learn how to do it and get used to kind of the feeling of it. But in general, it's fun to do and pretty easy, pretty quick, and good for any blacksmith to know how to do to make themselves knife sheaths or anything else. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
You held a warm stone out, you